them from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Hurts throwing right away. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
What a start here to the ball game. You get the good kick return, followed by a quick first down through the air. If this defense isn't careful, they might be looking at a deficit before they know what hit them.
Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And the tackle there by Micah McFadden.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Grant Calcaterra, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And New York set to take the field. They'll run here with a rookie. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 4. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They go play action with Wilson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple. And it's 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing is Hurts. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Here's Hurts to throw. Smith catches left side. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles 1st down as he'll take this down inside the 45. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and a yard. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll try and run the option. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. Little read option, the end result, the 1st down, so a good read.
And the way teams are running it nowadays, they've added variety to it. You know, the original way was you read the defensive end. If he crashes down, you pull it and you go. Now they may not even block that person, may end up reading the linebacker, may read the cornerback. Just depends on how they want to block it up. In any case, this worked well for them.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. Hurts. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Dotson in motion right. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 31 yards. And the Eagles are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You've just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. On the return, here comes Eric Gray. And he returns this to the 22. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Play action. Now Wilson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete?
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Right back to Tracy. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. Now Wilson running left on the option. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown. Darius Slayton from 17 yards out. And the Giants have cut it back within a score. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 5. Up the middle with Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 38, Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. They're going to look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball
leader, right?
to make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
In motion right is Robinson. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Again, it's Johnson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one, and let's face it, he is so amped up. Wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now Wilson. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's Wilson. Catch made by Slayton. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Wilson. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Runs like that, this time on the RPO, is why they call him dangerous.
I love the way you dropped that in there. His decision-making is what makes it all go, because his ability to process so quickly what the defense is doing, make the right read, and then when he takes off and runs, all
touchdown Giants! A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Giants are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, he is such a matchup nightmare down near the goal line, CD, and another example right there on that play for the touchdown.
It's borderline impossible to defend this guy because that kind of size, he can still get out and run a crisp route, and he has excellent hands. Even if you stick with him, all the quarterback has to do is lob it up, and he can win almost any jump ball.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Hurts. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. 3rd and 7 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. In motion left comes Brown. Back to throw again. That is caught. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The end result, 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a toss right to Barkley. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Throwing is Hurts. Forced out to, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Eagles have taken the lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now out come the Giants. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start with a run by Tracy. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Wilson. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Here's Wilson. And that's going to be caught downfield by Slayton. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, their first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. And that's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Wilson. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 31 yards. And the Giants are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Avery Williams now returning it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half, the same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Here's Hurts to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Hurts. Complete. It's Dodson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get
over the middle, and there's a diving catch. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And out of bounds right around the 20. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass run. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Smith as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And the Giants with one final possession here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
In motion, Slayton. They'll go again with Tracy. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here comes third down and 7. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On the jet sweep, it's Robinson. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll hand it to Tracy. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And Robinson, the motion man right. On to give, it's Tracy. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they send a man in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. Gano's kick is good, and that'll bring them back within 4. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Over the middle here to Brown. And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Quick slant here to Smith.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 5. On the option left, it's Hurts. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Got a man, it's Brown. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game. This long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
From the gun, it's Hurts. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be second down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Throwing is Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles will add to their fourth quarter lead. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a two-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Eric Gray to return it. This one deep into the landing zone, returnable from the 2-yard line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And New York set to take the field. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Now a 2nd and 6. To throw is Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? On the run is Tracy. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7. Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. So the completion good for just 3. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Here's Wilson. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now it's Wilson. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
Catch made by Slayton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Wilson will throw again. Quick completion here to Johnson. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Wilson now off the bootleg. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 up to the 33. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that 1st after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 42. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. 61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 28. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Dotson in motion right. Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Hurts going to keep it running left. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw here. That is caught at the 7-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. That's to the sideline and pulled in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jahan Dotson, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index, because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. And New York set to take the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Here's Wilson to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And they get the guard, John Runyon. And New York set to take the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. In motion goes the tight end. Now Wilson. Steps away to his left. Busts through the tackle. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, He doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Now it's Wilson. And this will be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing is Wilson. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Inside the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick-6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will make this a 19-point game. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, Wilson. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Here's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here is 3rd and 5. Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Again, Wilson. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick 6. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.